Hello everybody, welcome back. HOI4, today we're going to be playing the No Step Back DLC that just came out today at the time of upload. About a week-ish from now as the time of recording. So, we are playing Soviet Union. They did get a brand new focus tree along with the Baltic countries and Poland, all with new updated trees. So what is going to be our main path? Well, in the base, or the original before No Step Back, there were two ways the Soviet Union can go. They can either go with Stalin, or they can go with Trotsky. But in this new DLC, we have, the option to have a counter-revolution, which either you go for a democratic or I'm assuming, you got Romanov over here. I'm assuming you probably go democratic, or you can go fascist. I would imagine both are available. But we're not going to be going down this tree, at least not today. Maybe for a future series. Today, we're going to be continuing the path of Marxism-Leninism, but we're not going Stalin. We're not going Trotsky. We're actually going with Bukharin, because Bukharin doesn't really see too much attention in most HOI4 mods, I think. So that's why we're going to be going here. Of course, we are playing vanilla, so we got a lot of 70-day focuses. Something you don't really see in most mods anymore, but no, it is what it is. What can you do about that? We also got strengthening the mobilization plan, down the PCDI, expand the Red Fleet. Industry would also be nice. We do got some factories here, but we actually need 100 factories for this to be finished. I don't think we need to worry about this though. We're just going to go for the path of Marxism-Leninism, get that going. And again, for us to actually get Bukharin in charge, we do need to start a civil war at some point in the future. But I'm not too concerned with it right now. We do start off with 1 million manpower, 45, 32, and 6 in our factories. I think decent for us to begin with. We start with 138 divisions, 85 ships, 1,000 aircraft. How many research slots? We got 3 research slots. Could be a little bit better, but what can you do? We will be going for our basic technologies here. Research, production physics camp, and construction speed. Very happy to see all those. And we're just quickly going to get all of my units assigned together. We can reorganize them afterwards. We can see that there are some new icons around them. We can worry about that, though, in a second. We got these troops up in Finland. Sign them over to the army. Okay, so that's all now been finished. Civilian factories. We do have some more stuff. Infrastructure, which I actually think is basically the same. Really, the two new things we got to worry about are railways and supply hubs. Supply hubs are 20,000. I think making them the most expensive building in the game. Refineries are 1450. No, okay, that's not true. Nuclear reactors are more expensive. But you know, still 20,000 makes them the second most expensive thing in the map. But we can look at our new supply map mode, and we can actually see all of the railways, snaking their way across the Soviet Union. We got the Trans-Siberian Railway over here. I believe it's built. We do have some weaker parts, like this is only a level 1 railroad. I can't supply troops and supplies that effectively, but it's okay. And of course, we can click other countries. You can see, hey, there's Poland's railroads, Lithuania, Germany, Czechoslovakia, Romania. Most of our railroads will be connected to one another, but some countries like Bulgaria down here, their infrastructure is completely isolated. So if you want to actually bring supplies down to Bulgaria in the future, I'm pretty sure we're going to actually need to connect railroads manually. Because otherwise, maybe not. I mean, it connects to Serbia, but it does not actually connect to Romania. So, let's say we take Romania, we need to move our way to Bulgaria. We'll probably need to build a railroad here to connect these railroads together to efficiently bring supplies over. Because otherwise, we're bringing supplies over, I'm pretty sure, like, by foot, which makes them garbage. You can see here, like, these units are starting in red areas, and they have, like, no supplies whatsoever. I'm not too sure where the supplies would be on this map, but, I mean, their supplies are not doing well. Supply rating is at 0. We do have our supply provinces around, supply hubs, providing some support. Our main capital hub, of course, is in Moscow. So we need to defend Moscow so we can actually maintain our primary source of supplies. Actually, do you have supplies? Demand supplies 1. Or is this just where they could be built? I'm actually not too sure. This is my first time actually playing in No Step Back, so we're going to be learning together on this. Yes, I'm assuming you are a level 1 supply hub. Don't actually probably maybe don't have any supplies at all. But for right now, like the question, do we need railroads? maybe. I mean, we have railroads going our way over to here. Railroads up to you. We got some railroads going into Karelia. I know, like, this border with Xinjiang is a little bit weak. It's not so bad. If anything, you probably want to build more railroads moving our way over here, or getting a supply hub in the area. You know what? I have supply hubs, though. I mean, not great supply hub. How many supplies do you actually have in this area? 0. You provide 0.7 from infrastructure and population, but you don't have any to actually give to the units. I'd say it's pretty bad. Total is coming from 0.55, 0.9. Get some points from victory points here. And from state. I don't know where it says how much supplies you take up. I think maybe in here. Supply use is 0.8. Consumes 0.8 supplies. We're only providing 0.7 into these provinces, so they actually can't garrison a single basic infantry division. Incredible. So we might just abandon the Japanese front, just because we can't really afford to maintain it. At least not right now. Again, we probably could build more supply hubs over there. We can worry about that again in the future. We are missing a little bit of rifles, a little bit more, but that really shouldn't be, I think, a huge problem for us. You know, let's go with 15 on you. We'll go 3, 3, 5 on our light tank. And I think we want to go like 5 and 5 on fighters. Do we have close air support research? No, we do not. So that might be something we want to look about in the future. Again, submarines, I mean, they're building just fine, I would say at this point. Missing 6 rubber, we can get that from the Dutch East Indies. Excellent, excellent. What are we going to use you for? Again, we could build supply hubs. We're providing 20 supply, but like 20 supply is not good enough. I mean, railroads are pretty cheap. You could increase railroads going into Manchuria. Like maybe this railroad here. Yeah, let's upgrade you to maybe be level 2. Maybe get supplies coming over here a little bit more efficiently. But you might also want more supply hubs there in the future. I mean, the supplies over here are fine. At least they look fine to me. Supply rating is 0.27. What does it say like with you? Supply from hubs, supply from state. Supply remaining is at 3.64. I do wish that this would tell you how much supply is actually being taken up by the units. I actually don't think it does that. Infrastructure map mode, but I think that's basically the same as it was previously. So not really concern ourselves with. Don't need to concern ourselves with upgrading the submarines that we have. Should be okay. Let's get these guys to a couple of smaller armies. Going to be a little bit messy for us to begin with, but it's not like we're going to be going to a war too early on. I mean, I guess theoretically there is the threat of the Civil War, but I think we're okay. We'll get Zhuketski, we'll get Yegorov. Let's assign whoever the hell. Zhukov sounds fine. I'll assign whoever. Konev, Betsky, this guy here. Line all these guys together. So what else can we do? I notice in our top bar over here, we have a new button. We have an officer corps button. So instead of our research going towards land doctrine, naval doctrine, air doctrine, that's now all actually forced into this new army command. But instead of spending time researching, then we can add some spirit companies, but this will be something we want to worry about later. We're really just going to spend our army experience, navy experience, and air experience on upgrading stuff. We can actually get some preferred tactics. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, that's actually really nice. I think I've talked about this in a recent series where the attacks, I guess you could say, you have no real direction on how to use them. So it's nice to see that we can at least do something there. Also, we do need to spend some political power and command power to actually appoint some high-level generals, getting some people in charge of the Air Force, Navy, and Army. And we, of course, do have some basic doctrines. But now, instead of spending time researching them, you are going to be spending for army experience. Which is, I think better. Especially when you play like I do, which is not effectively utilizing your Navy experience, air experience, and army experience. And I think it actually makes more sense this way. They're just researching a bunch of doctrines without actually running to fight a war. Now you actually need to engage in combat to make your doctrine better. To refine your doctrine, you need to actually fight in a war. Apparently also we don't actually have a basic air doctrine yet. Experience. Does this actually... My question, I don't know this yet. Does it unlock automatically, or does it still take time? I'm assuming it unlocks automatically. Again, I don't quite know. Could train in some divisions. Still have 1.25 million manpower. Without the guns, I don't think it's too bad. Also, we can build trains. So you know what? I'm not too sure where trains actually are located. Here, there we go. Civilian train. Let's get some trains being built. Just so I'm assuming that's going to be really important. It's going to... yeah, we need trains, trucks, and convoys to actually supply units. You can no longer supply units with no actual infrastructure behind you. And I think that's quite nice. It's probably going to make targeting infrastructure using your bombers significantly more important than I think it was in the past. But I think these are overall all good changes. We are about halfway through the video. We haven't even started. And I haven't even talked about the tank designer yet. But I think we can deal with like one thing at a time. I'm going to put you on the Romania border. Also, we have a new button here. Naval invasion order. With floating... Oh, yeah, with the floating harbors. Excellent. I think floating harbors are really going to make a big difference when it comes to naval invasions. Hopefully, it should make the AI less dog shit at them. Fingers crossed on that. Put you on the border here. Again, I kind of want to just take all of our units off of the border with the Japanese. I have no reason, I think, right now to engage in conflict with Japan. Also, we're not building anything. Fair enough. We will go, let's say... Let's go with a handful of civilian factories. We'll build them in the areas, of course, with the highest infrastructure because this is the best research bonus. 80%. Is there anywhere else that has good research? Or good supplies? Kharkov, Stalingrad. So we'll build some civilian infrastructure there, and afterwards we can start worrying about building up some more units. Let's see. We can already see just having these troops on this line, they do not have the supplies necessary to actually stay here. Infrastructure supply indicates the amount of supply right around this province. States and supply hubs within range. Affected by weather, ground condition, infrastructure, railway level, and motorization. Visual consumes potential supply based on their supply rate. If their store supply is above the supply ratio provided by their location, they consume their internal store until supply from the same level from a local supply. Yeah, and they're already taking attrition because they do not have the supplies necessary on the Latvian border. Latvia doesn't have enough supplies on their border as well, so I guess we'll just withdraw these units to the railroads. And maybe, well, maybe go like half and half. You just want to make sure that units aren't dying of heavy attrition loss. I think that goes without saying, you know, taking attrition is bad. Yeah, but it does mean that you can't just throw a bunch of units on any border you want anymore. Like you could at the, I mean, the railroad's not even going to the front lines. They're kind of snaking back here. So it probably makes sense, good construction, for us to actually build railroads, like, snaking their way out. And you kind of can build them like this. Why not throw this up here, too? I mean, again, railroads are relatively cheap. 170 at their basic level. Means that we shouldn't be having too much problem, I think. Yeah, but the thing, like, even with these guys, like, we're going to have to cut them in half. And then pull them around Novgorod. Otherwise, we just don't have the supplies necessary to actually fuel these units. Even now. Supply limited by railroad level, so the railroad here kind of sucks. We might actually need to pull these units further back. I mean, it's already, like, just this basic change has, I think, drastically altered the way that we have to think about actually engaging in warfare. Like, we can no longer just stuff 100 divisions on the front lines and hope that everything's going to be okay. You need railroads to be good. Yeah, we will be going for the right opposition this time around. Again, I think Bukharin doesn't see that much thought in Hearts 4 mods. I think he's in Kaiserreich, but actually he might have been removed from Kaiserreich now I think about it. I think he's also in... Is he in Führerreich? Maybe. Let's see, how are supplies doing? Taking, I'm assuming, a little bit of attrition. 4.7. Organization's about half because they don't have all their supplies right now. But it's not like the red were... I mean, they're supplying some of their stuff. I'm assuming one of our issues that we don't have we're missing 23,000. How are we missing 23,000 rifles? Did just me moving my troops to the border cause so much attrition that we had lost 23,000 rifles in some horrible accident? We're not going to promise peace. Zero political power. I guess I'm trying to get to participation as fast as we possibly can. Oh, Germany's been embroiled in a civil war, huh? Okay, interesting. Yeah, we've gotten Bukharin. Get some military support, or we can divert attention towards the military. We could get some cooperation where we can kind of unite the left and the right, which I think is also maybe what we're going to do here. You know, let's gain support from party members. So obviously, war right now we have 10% support. Let's get some secret headquarters going up here. Turkey seized control of the Bosphorus. Soviet Kemal Ataturk declared the Turkish Straits are now under complete control of Turkey, thus giving the Turkish government the ability to close the straits, was at their own discretion. It's absolutely unacceptable. The Turkish government has decided that they will have the right to trap our fleets in the Black Sea whenever they feel like it. It's not expedient to do so. I mean, we can either... can escalate things, or we have troops on the Turkish border. So you know what? I think I'm okay escalating things right now. Joseph Stalin's concern about fascism. In a recent session of the Central Committee, Comrade Joseph Stalin noted that the growing fascism inside the party. While all members of the committee were quick to assure him of their full and unconditional support, has apparently done very little to ease his concerns. According to Comrade Joseph Stalin, must always be vigilant of saboteurs and records who plot against the state, whatever position they may be. This news comes a bit of a surprise to many in the party, who believe that the threat of party split ended with Trotsky's exile. Satisfy production reports. Turkey compromised on the remilitarization of the straits. Much negotiating, the Turkish government has decided to take control of the straits, while still permitting free access to all nations bordering the Black Sea. The ironclad proposal provided by Turkey leaves little room for protest. Already been hastily approved by Bulgaria and Romania, which ultimately ties our hands on the matter. I mean, that still works out for us. Yep. Political paranoia. I'm assuming we want to... Paranoia value increase over 25. Random purge event may occur. Higher paranoia, more days. So I don't think we want paranoia to get high up there for the obvious reason that we're... I mean, there is a conspiracy. he's not technically wrong. You are conspiring against him. And I'll get some people here as well. Element, amphibious and support. I don't think we really care about that. I want to save our political power to increase these things. We also have more military staff. Oh, is this actually are these the same thing here? Army Command, Air Force Command. Chief of Army, and then you're also Chief of Army. Okay, so it's the same thing, just in 2 different slots. Which I think actually is completely acceptable. Prospect for resources, but I think we're kind of okay with that. We now have 12% support for our... 12% support of the Army, 10% support of the Navy, and 12% support of the Air Force, and 2% popular support for the population. Popular support affects your Stalin's surrender level, and as per partisan units during the war. There's a daily 20% risk of Stalin starting a war when paranoia is over 90%. Okay, so we kind of have to balance paranoia with power. If we start a civil war when we do not have popular support, we will be crushed. And I think it goes without saying, I would prefer not to be crushed. I know, maybe that's a little crazy, but I think we're okay. Now, do you get more supplies in this province? infrastructure from population. Supply hub is in Onega, which is not actually, which is here. You're a level 0. You're bottle capped. Got the train supply hubs need deliberate supply in nearby provinces. The rain efficiency depends on weather. Nation of motorization level. Oh, we got some stuff over here too. We can actually click on these and change them. Upgrade railways, allied supply. So right now they're only going by a horse. We can change that to trucks, or we can change that to, I'm assuming motorization, which I'm assuming affects how efficient they are. I mean, you can see horses are not that great. Motorized are not that much better. A lot of motorized though, so I think we're fine here. But I'm assuming if we go down to better areas, let's say here. I mean, they can supply a little bit more. Apply like this, apply like that. You're a level 4, so I'm assuming you're basically pretty good. Trains needed 10 out of 7 for level 2. Maybe we want to upgrade railroads. Maybe we'll upgrade the rails here, which I'm assuming is already automatically placed these area. So I'm assuming this is the weak rail. They need to upgrade this rail to improve supplies. So let's do that. That seems completely acceptable at the moment. And again, we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. At least for the time being. Okay, we got our research bonus. Immediately go up to the next level of research bonus as well. But I think with getting our feet basically a little bit dipped in the water, it's going to be a good time for us to end our first episode. So I hope you're enjoying the new DLC. But for now, thanks very much for watching my channel. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumbs down. Subscribe, and goodbye.